will be missing the first week of preseason. We're gonna talk about it straight after this, and I'm gonna tell you, let's not panic. It's not such a big deal. We're gonna get straight into it right after this music.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
Thank y'all for tuning in for another episode on Chicago Bears Central. It's one of your hosts here, Stev0 Speaks. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And let's get straight into it. Y'all see the thumbnail, y'all see the title. Let's get straight to it. Y'all hear about it. Let's go. So, according to Greg Braggs and a couple other Chicago media sources, we can announce that our quarterback, starting quarterbacks, Caleb Williams, going into his second year, will be missing the first game of the preseason. Now, of course, that's not something we want to hear. Is it injury? Is it this, that, and the third? We could debunk all the things and get it out the way. It has nothing to do with injury. Caleb is completely healthy. It has everything to do with it's a particular plan, not only that Ben Johnson has, but the rest of the organization around has for not only our quarterback, but the offense and defense. So, according to Ben Johnson, he already said, well, he kind of broke the news a little prematurely compared to everybody else. And he just went on and said that, 9 on offense and 9 on defense is most likely not going to play game one of the preseason. Now, we all know game one of the preseason, especially when it comes from the starters, it's usually the time where they get the least amount of reps, the least amount of plays. And for the quarterback, especially, like, you never know how many passes he's really gonna get up. We seen Joe Burrow last night only gave 10 passes, I believe. 9 for 10, great, but he only gave up 10 passes. What is that really showing you that we already don't know about the Cincinnati Bengals? And I think it's the same thing for the Chicago Bears. Yeah, we want to see what Caleb Williams and the rest of this offense look and get an early glimpse of it game one. But yeah, if you're only going to get 10 reps out of your quarterback, what is you really going to see? Yeah, if he goes 9 for 10, 7 for 10, we're going to go crazy for it, but that don't mean nothing. Versus if he struggles, it's going to be like, it don't look that good. But the most important thing is Ben Johnson has a plan. And the plan that he's come up with, he said that on today's practice, because everybody knows the joint practice between the Miami Dolphins will be happening today in a couple of hours. And he already said those starters, including Caleb Williams, are probably going to get more reps than they even thought of getting in the actual game in the preseason, as well as the practice after the game, which is going to be on the following Monday. He already said those players are going to get a significant amount of snaps that they wasn't going to get in the game. And that's the main concern that I have. That's the most important thing, and that's why I'm okay with him missing this game. The most important thing for a young quarterback or for any player in the NFL is reps. And no matter if you get it in or out or in the game or in practice, reps is the thing that's going to make you improve on the things that you need to improve on. We already know when it comes to Caleb, the quick game, throwing to his left side, screen passes, that's some of the footwork is some of a lot of the things that we really need him to work on. But at the end of the day, who knows if he's going to be calling all those plays or those type of plays within those 10 plays he's allowed Caleb Williams to do in that first preseason game. And that's my whole thing. Like, I know a lot of people's like, that's the red flag. That's not what we want to hear. Bro, it's the preseason. You probably wasn't only going to see him maybe one drive. And if that drive was one drive, you might not even get that many passes out of it because you never know what Ben Johnson and the rest of the organization is trying to figure out on preseason game one. That could be a game where they're trying to figure out, okay, what this running game look like? Do this O-line look right? Let's see what these tight ends got. You don't even know if we can end the game. Let's say in a perfect world, Caleb Williams does play in the first game. We can end that game and Caleb probably got 7 passes total. That's why I'm not having such a big deal about it. Game one, we already know. When it comes to game, even though they've taken games away in the preseasons since the past, game one has always been the least amount of reps, no matter what your position is, whether you first, second, third string. The first preseason game is for everybody else that don't have a job. They're out there trying to fight for their job. And at the end of the day, we also just see an injury from a quarterback that happened via his fault and Anthony Richardson, but he did get injured and dislocated his pinky, and we don't know how long he's gonna be out because you still need your goddamn pinky to throw the damn ball. So like it's just it's a lot of things that comes down with it. I don't think it's a big deal. We shouldn't be tripping over it. Like you said, Ben Johnson has a plan. He already said today practice they gonna get hella reps. So I'm pretty sure Caleb Williams is walking in today into Hallis Hall treating today as if it is a preseason game because he's gonna get the most amount of reps that he was ever gonna get today. And coming in Monday, he's gonna get the same amount of reps or even more. And that's my thing with it. I see y'all in the chat. I'm my boy Jacob Holmes said it best. I trust Ben John. I hope Luther play, and that's something I do hope he does. But I won't be shocked if he don't. Like I said, especially with the injuries that Luther's been having. Like I said, he hasn't announced the 9 on offense and the 9 on defense that he's not playing, but he did already said 9 on offense and 9 on defense is not going to play tomorrow. So it is what it is. Good thing that's what a joint practice for. Exactly. That's literally what a joint practice for. The joint, and if we being honest, if we pay attention to all the history of any joint practice around the league, those games be busting more than the goddamn preseason game, to be honest. So, like I said, if you have any thoughts of, oh, this ain't a good idea, man, it's preseason 1. We wasn't gonna get that many reps anyway. Let them get back off the roster guy, get some film so they can make some. Exactly. That's all it's about. It's about people that's trying to make a team. It's trying to make the practice squad, third scheme, fourth team. Like this is what this preseason is for. And to see how your offense look as a system. And I'm gonna be quite honest with you. And it's the thing everybody should be wanting. And I've been saying this for the longest. We got so much hope in Ben Johnson. I'm not saying I don't. I'm just saying we got so much hope in Ben Johnson. We got so much belief. This is the time for him to show that his system is really true and is really good. Because I've always said you don't necessarily need great players to make a system work. In actual factuals, a coach really shows how good of a coach he really is when he ain't got his starters out there. Because if your offense still looks the same minus the starters, that means you got a good system. So I think that's the most important thing that we honestly should be looking at. Joe said, I'm excited to see Kyle Monunga and the running backs in this preseason game. Facts. And we already know Kyle Monunga had a lot of, if I'm not mistaken, yesterday or the day before that, he had a significant amount of plays with the first team. So he's been definitely showing that he this running back room is going to be fun to watch. I'm not going to lie. I hope we beat the Dolphins' ass today. Hey, that's what we want. And if anything, just competitive. Don't get bitched. Show your competitive nature. And that's all I can ask for. Yo, Greener, what up? Crimson, what's good, brother? The left tackle competition hopefully ramps up today with the Miami defensive line out there going 100%. I'm curious on which side Bradley Chubb's line up on. Shit, I hope they move him around so we need the best to test the best. So I want him to move around, play him on both edges because we both need to see what it is. I'm with you, Joe. I'm with you. I'm very excited for this left tackle competition. I'm also very excited for that second cornerback position because I've been saying, and others been saying that Tyreek don't got that shit on lock like a lot of people think. It's not. That second spot is up for grabs. I really hope for them to get some live reps. There is no substituting that. And that's the thing. They're gonna get, and that's exactly what they're gonna get. Regardless if them not playing in the preseason game, today they're gonna get hella reps, and Monday they're gonna get hella reps. And that's via by coach. And it is what it is. But thank y'all for tuning in for another episode. I wasn't gonna be on here for long. I just wanted to drop the news because when news drop, we drop at all times. But thank y'all for tuning in for another episode. I'm sure we're gonna have another video out today to break down some more things, especially with especially we probably honestly we might come on and talk about joint practice after it happens. So make sure y'all tune in, stay locked in with Chicago Bears Central. Thanks for all the support. And yeah, we're gonna check with y'all